happened?
Have tested this.
No.
Working now? There we go, and we're working. Sorry everyone, my headset broke last night, and I had a huge palaver trying to get it working again. So my sound settings were a bit mussed up. It was just me that was muted, Zoom was not. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, good morning, welcome to Tooth Tale and Talcum Powder. Today's title is Consequences. It's giving me a mighty fear. Check out all the things. You've seen all the links above, social links, places you can find us, places you can support us, sponsor information, Mage Hand Press, Bird and Storm Publishing, very grateful to them. They make this all possible, and other things there as well. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. I'm afraid this week Tommy can't be with us, but do go ahead and go and follow Tommy on the Twitters and everything. He is a wonderful fellow, and you should follow him. We'll carry on around the screen and say hi to Gloss and Gadgets, Leonie.
I wasn't ready. Hi. Choke down my milkshake. Hi, everybody. I am Gloss and Gadgets. I play Aristomachi Tekos, and I'm not a murder hobo.
Next around we have Shakespeare.
Hello, I am Shakes, also known as Shakespeare, and I'm not a murder hobo either. I'm just very environmentally friendly. Let's go with that. I'm tidy.
So I guess before we hand over to our wonderful dungeon master, I should say hi. My name's Scratticus, and I've been a murder hobo for approximately 6 episodes. I didn't realize this was going to be Murder Hobos Anonymous. But let's hand over to our wonderful DM, the fantastic Heavenly. Oh, hi!
Hi, everyone. You are all murder hobos, and I'm glad that Scrat has come to terms with it, and I think eventually we'll just all get into the point. I think at the point where you discuss killing and eating someone in front of them, you count as, I think there are a lot of horror movies where that's like the central plot, and that is meant to tell you that the people are bad, right? Is that they talk about
Laura the Jungle? No, just tidy up.
I strongly agree.
We're very sad that Tommy's not here today, so we will try and keep it tame, just in honor of his calming presence, because we've
just got to imagine the foot tapping.
The tapping.
Imagine the tapping.
The disappointed gaze that you assume is radiating from behind the mask. And of course, whenever you get in a fight, someone does have to ask for everyone to put their weapons down, because that's what Asuka would want.
My brain is immediately going back to that Eden episode where Dot and Renee were away, Heavenly.
Luckily, I am not a player in this game, so I can't immediately begin flapping people on the head with paddles.
Right, so we know what we must do. Immediately slap people on the head with paddles.
What would Armor Dad do? That is the question that we will be asking ourselves. Well, let us begin with, like I will say at the beginning of every session, if you haven't seen any sessions, I like to always start with a little TV foreshadowing. If you haven't seen any other sessions and you don't know that's what we do, I applaud you for trying to make sense of what has happened so far. Let me moisten my mouth before we begin.
Oh, no, don't use that word. No.
Sorry. Let me wet my palate. Is that better?
That's better.
Thank you.
So bad.
It was unendingly hot. If Dragonborns could burn, Tatzel knew his forehead and cheeks would be blistering. As it was, his scales were uncomfortably hot, and there was an itch beneath his armor that he couldn't get at. Bound as he was, all he could do was roll, and at that moment, he rolled closer to his companion. It's right here. No, I'm not going to itch under your armor. To say that the Goliath Grapes had taken a beating was an understatement. He still spoke with the nasal lisp of someone with a broken nose and 4 missing teeth. But it's so itchy. This has been the worst couple days of my life. Grapes rolled closer to Tatzel, what few fingers he could free from the binding, finding the spot right in Tatzel's armpit that had been causing him the most trouble. Oh, wow. Like, how industrious. The two jumped at the voice and attempted to roll into more dignified positions. Tatzel could see the hooves of 2 horses, but then again, he didn't need to see her face to know who was talking. A voice that could strip paint from the walls was well known throughout Jadir. It was her companion whose voice he couldn't recognize. These are the men you thought to send? Oh my gosh, no! The doctor was in charge of his own crew. He, totally insisted. Gwyn swung down from her mount. Her golden boots, slightly scuffed from sand, were level with Tatzel's nose. Grape squeezed his eyes shut and began to roll away as slowly and inconspicuously as he could. The second figure followed Gwen's lead, but still Tatzel couldn't see their face. Did you find it? The unfamiliar voice asked. It? What it? You know, it. The thing? I don't know what you're talking about. Grapes piped up from where he had rolled a few feet away. You know, the thing? We were sent here for the thing. I don't know the thing! Tatzel felt a hysteric episode coming on. What thing? The thing? I don't know! Gwen sighed and shifted her weight to 1 foot. Should we, send them back to the capital or take them with us to Talonford? The mysterious companion sighed. We don't have space. Oh, yeah. Tatzel could hear the grin in Gwen's voice. Totally. When we last left our murder hobos, our bum bandit, our assassin.
Let's quickly welcome the raiders. Welcome, Lynx House and Raiders. Oh, hi, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome, everyone, to the Bum Bandit podcast. The Bum Bandit stream.
We might have stabbed a few anuses. Let's get the quote.
You
600.
might have stabbed a few anuses.
I love this we. This is the royal we, I imagine.
We all agreed to the new name, okay? We all agreed to the new name.
Oh, no.
It only takes one stabbing in one particular area for it really to stick. It's not something
one
that you
stabbing and you're the assassin.
So where we last left off, there had been some decisions made in the quick. One of your enemies had turned into a bee, and a very quick-thinking Aristomachi had commanded her infinite bees to single out the one, and they quickly found the kobold. He was then murdered and consumed by a very industrious and greenly minded Mr. Blobby.
Kylie.
The one who had escaped into the wall fell out, and she was also quickly killed and consumed by Mr. Blobby. And then at some point, the Triton that they had killed earlier was also consumed by Mr. Blobby. They very effectively cleaned the scene of the crime, but not before finding a rather mysterious note that had bare-boned instructions for the 3 that they had come upon, with details of where to go, and a very strange sigil, a stamp that our history major, Gerbil, realized was what was considered to be an unknown and previously thought fake sigil of the 5 nations working in harmony. And at this point, after a few hours of journeying, thanks to Aristomachi's bees, they found an opening in the cavern with a dead human and an abandoned camp. And that's where we last saw them.
I have made sure the baby is not looking at the corpse of its parental unit. Just turn the baby around.
Am I able to put the bees back?
I will say that since you can kind of talk to the bees and command them, I imagine it's very easy for you to get them back in the bag of bees.
Okay, so it's not like I open. It's not like I open up the bag and more bees come out.
Well, I'll say no.
Okay, awesome. A good one. I'd like to put my bees away. Oh, what ones came back anyway?
Do you want I should clean it up or maybe hold the baby so Mr. Blobby can clean it up? I don't think this is something we should. I mean, I wouldn't want to see it if I was,
I don't think the baby should see any of that. I can tidy up. Maybe we want to have a look around first to see if it's other people, tracks and things. I kind of get rid of them when I move, so you might want to look first.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Guess I'll go and investigate.
Oh, wait, didn't we investigate last episode?
You had run up to the body and had done a quick investigation, and with your surprising history knowledge and your memory of everything everyone's ever said to you, apparently, you were able to infer that this was when you had first met Dr. Sporen, or rather, when you had first figured out Dr. Sporen's true motivations for hiring you. He had said that he had found this baby with a human that he had presumed to be its mother, and that she had passed. And you were able to infer that this was the mother that he was referencing.
I suppose I'll have another look now then.
Do you want to look at her specifically or around her? What are you looking for?
Well, I think first he'll probably make some comments about her body shape and things.
Okay.
But then also would like to investigate to see, like Mr. Blobby said, tracks and things. But he'd definitely be...
It's weird for an aquatic creature. There's no gills. They're not in water. Maybe that's why it didn't go well. Maybe they need to be in water to do it properly.
I mean, I can
fingers.
swim, but I don't have gills. It's from the distance.
I mean, it looks like it's got breathing apparatus. It's got a nose and a mouth like me.
Oh.
If I was going to try if I was going to try and assassinate this creature, I would definitely aim for its chest.
Would you? Really?
Eventually, yes. I am technically still aiming for the chest. It's just entry wound location that we're squabbling about.
Is it because you're short, or is it some deep-seated neuroses?
Possibly a bit of column A and a bit of column B.
Okay, good to know.
Colon A or colon B?
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, big yikes.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me. You can roll me an investigation check or a survival. I'll say you can only roll one, and they'll both get you different.
Which one did you roll?
What the hell? You got a
Investigation
natural
survival.
20 on investigation. Why is Gerbil so astute? It's like it's such a funny thing that you are always the one that ace these rolls.
Don't know.
You know,
Didn't you also say that the tents had holes in them? Can I roll on that to see if they were attacked?
Mm-hmm.
And
What are you,
I will do the opposite. I will do
a survival check.
yeah, thank you.
Great.
And I am just occupying baby and trying to keep I don't have eyes or ears, but I'm keeping something out for any, any disturbances nearby, just in case there's anyone still here. I'm just keeping, weather eye on the horizon. I don't have eyes. Just generally seeing if anything changes apart from us, 4 or 5 people.
Okay.
I'm being paranoid. That's what I'm being.
What did you get?
21.
Okay. Not a nat 20.
No.
Such great rolls. Okay,
It's
so
14.
let's. Okay, let's do Gerbil first. So Gerbil, you go up to this body, and first you'll notice that the body's surprisingly in good condition. The cave is very good for that sort of thing. It's not too damp. There aren't any animals, so the body hasn't been nibbled at. It's not too humid. There's no water running by. The air is very dry, and so everything's pretty well preserved. You can tell that she died the way that we all assume that she died. That it wasn't natural, but she also wasn't attacked. And you can also see with this investigation check that it looks like her body was repositioned. So there are those glowing mushrooms on the wall. Some of those have been braided into her hair, and the braid is kind of plaited and it comes down one shoulder and down her chest, and she's been repositioned so it almost looks like she's just sleeping. So whatever happened, they definitely took care to take care of her body as best that they could. She wasn't just abandoned.
If she was with other humans, it looks like they have an understanding of, or maybe they have burial rights or something like that. Empathy, at least. They're not wild like animals. They've made her look pretty.
But why would you do all that and not take the baby?
Well, that's a good question. But it could be something to do with religion or something. They could follow some kind of religion. I mean, I've read history books about old religions and, burial mounds and burial rites and all that sort of thing. Maybe they believe you can't touch the baby, or maybe they weren't there to begin with. Maybe the baby got taken by whatever killed her and they just cleaned up.
Well, the baby got taken by the doctor who talks too much. That's why we have it.
Do you think?
I don't think he strikes me as the kind of person who would do someone's hair, though.
You do remember that he doesn't have any hair. He's partially balding.
Yep, that's why I said it.
Aristomachi, with your survival check, you kind of walk past where Gerbil is doing his preliminary investigation of this human, and you see a very basic camp. It doesn't look like they were living here. This was not a home, but rather someplace that they were staying. There are some basic tools and pots made out of clay. Everything looks very rough. It almost feels as if you're walking into a staged archaeological.
Sorry, everyone. We've been having some troubles with Zoom recently. We are working on it with Zoom technicians. We'll get that. We'll get that back right now. Everyone, you are back. Hopefully, it'll hold on. And if I reset the Zoom groups, there, you're back. Okay.
There we go.
Sorry about that, everyone. Zoom's been having a weird one on me recently. It seems to be either the first or second time I open it during the day. It has a freak out.
So weird. Hopefully there'll be an update soon that'll fix it.
I hope so.
Yeah, so it feels very primitive, I guess would be the word that you would use to describe it. You grew up in an area where everything was made from the land, so you're not unfamiliar with things like clay pots and wicker baskets. Some people would say that the way that you grew up felt very primitive because you didn't live in this beautiful city. You lived from the land. You essentially glamped for your entire life. But even to you, that's actually Laka's motto. They're the glamping nation.
Yeah.
This even feels to you like really rough. Like this was not taken from the earth. This is something that almost, it was like they fought with it, and this is just where they happen to stay. And as you did note that the camp, they're not holes in the tents, but everything looks as if it had been very hastily attempted to be packed up. So there was a small fire pit, and someone had kind of swiped the ashes over the fire pit, but they hadn't covered it up. There are some broken pots. Some of the tents have fallen. Some of them look like they've been disassembled and folded but left behind. Whatever happened, this place was abandoned in quite a hurry. It would be your guess.
Keratin, look. While they are quite savage in nature, there is a spark of intelligence here. But whatever happened, they left in a hurry, leaving many day-to-day essentials behind. Perhaps two, even the baby.
You think they would have abandoned it? That's a bit savage, isn't it?
When needs must.
I mean,
Oh.
you
That's-
can't run. Sounds too easy.
Still, that's upsetting.
Very. Still just like jiggling the baby while facing the baby away.
The baby doesn't seem particularly perturbed by anything that's going on.
I'm just like lifting it up a bit so it can like play with luminous mushrooms. Toxins? What toxins?
I was gonna say, do you want to make like a nature check before you do that, or?
Well, I was going to gather some mushrooms, so
Okay, go ahead and make a nature check.
oh, I can't. I keep changing d20s. Let's try this one. Oh, this one hates me. That's a 1, and I have a +0, so I rolled a natural 1, and I'm not using this dice again.
Okay.
Dice jail.
You look at these mushrooms, and they appear to be perfectly edible.
Well, they're pretty. I'm going to pack some up.
I'm not letting the baby eat any of them. I'm just like, the baby's like, you know, where you keep children like just out of arm's reach so they can like bap, but they can't actually like, grab.
Are you letting the baby touch the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So, Mr. Matchy,
barely.
you see that the baby is touching the mushrooms, but these mushrooms. The thing with mushrooms is that sometimes mushrooms can look very similar, and poisonous mushrooms might look like normal mushrooms, but you're so well versed in botany and survival that you are like so confident that these mushrooms are totally fine.
Yeah. Damn these mushrooms. I'm gonna gather some up anyway. And storm them away in my non-bee bag.
If you put other things in the bee bag, can it fit other things in it?
I don't know. Bees. It's just full of bees. That's all. And honey. That's all it does. It's a bee bag.
Okay.
I have another handbag. I'm a minotaur of many bags.
While I'm lifting baby up to bap at mushrooms, I am like climbing like slightly up the wall. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna consume a mushroom, just because I'm there.
Okay. I'll just note that down for no reason.
Okay. If I've hurt the baby, I'm gonna you know.
All right. What are you all thinking of doing from here?
So obviously they left quickly. Is there any what other exits are there in this cavern? Because obviously we entered one. Are there others that they could have left in?
I'll say with that 21, you're gonna be kind of going off this roll for at least another question or two.
Mm-hmm.
The cavern's quite large. It definitely feels as if you've exited the tunnels and now you're entering into a cave system. And you can see where the strange black glassy aspect that have made these tunnels so famous is actually kind of melded into the more rocky substance of a natural cave. So you're thinking this is actually where these glass caves end, and they may have connected in their time when they were originally made to natural tunnels beneath the sand. There is another, the cavern continues on. I won't say there's like another exit because that feels like too convenient. There's like, it's a bubble and there's a hole. But the cavern continues deeper on as if it is a truly open cave. But coming in, as you remember, you sent the bees ahead. There are many paths that took you here. So even if they had exited from the way that you came, they could have taken any number of turns that would lead them in a different pattern than the way that you got here.
Well, we have two choices. Either we venture deeper into the caves and try and find these humans, which our chances are very slim, or we can go back.
But what do we do with the baby if we go back?
It is a baby minotaur. I think that will hold up for a little bit longer.
But if we go back, are you gonna raise it as a minotaur? I think people might start to notice that it's. I mean, if it looks like
this is my ugly son, don't say anything.
People are going to want to know why you shaved your baby.
Yeah, he was born hairless. He is deformed. It is a good question, but we do have another lead, if I am not mistaken.
The human hunters? That name does not fill me with confidence.
It is either that or wander in the caves for a millennia or two.
If you all want to roll a history check, which I imagine Gerbil will somehow succeed at.
Why bother?
I'm gonna have a go.
Actually, I'm gonna test this new dice out.
Nope.
No, not that one.
I know nothing.
I rolled a 14.
That's actually what Gerbil got. So.
Oh, really? How cool.
Am I the bar now? Is that what we just did? Like...
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You're so good.
Yep. You're a
Okay.
little history buff. And we are just not. Yeah. No.
All right. It was a pretty low DC, just because I want you guys to have options. So you remember, Gerbil and Aristomachi, that there are a couple more options. So when you had come to the glass caves, that was one of the options that Dr. Sporn had initially given you. Ned. When you were speaking to Ned, the most renowned human researcher in the Five Nations, teenage Ned, he had told you a couple of things, that there was the glass caves here where Dr. Sporn had originally made his finding and where he had been doing a lot of work. There was a bar, the Alki Hall in Athos, which is known for its very interesting clientele. Mm-hmm. There was the Grand and Glorious Library of Jadir, which Mr. Bobby, you're familiar with. Yeah. And in Lathos, Dr. Sporen's colleague, Dolzas, was working on another site that Dr. Sporen had believed was connected to what he had originally found in the glass cave. And since then, you have found these orders on these three druids that Aristomachi, you recognized their clothing and where they were from, and this sigil from the Five Nations.
Mm-hmm. We could roll dice for it. See where we want to go.
We need the voice of reason. Why is our suit of armor being so quiet?
He doesn't talk.
I'd quite like to go and visit the library.
It's really, really nice. Everything in Jadir is really, really nice. It's really, really pretty.
I do quite like books.
kind of impossibly pretty.
Maybe with a bit more preparation, we can make a better costume for the tow roof.
That would be good. Maybe clean up a bit more. Maybe clothes that don't have holes in them.
Remind me, have we seen Mr. Blobby do magic in the past?
Yes.
Maybe Mr. Blobby could learn some sort of magical disguise for the baby. Make it look like a real Minotaur.
Let me just check to see if I can do that. I think I would have already mentioned it if I could do that, but let's see. Oh no, I've only got all
Do not forget your spellbook is quite large.
I've got a very big brain somewhere. You can't see it, but it's there.
I probably have. I've read in history books that people can change people's appearance for a few hours or so, but maybe we could find some sort of ancient rite that allows some sort of permanent transformation.
I wouldn't do that without asking it first.
Well, if we don't, it might die.
Yeah, but it might want to die as a weird pink sprinkly thing. That's not... no.
But when you try asking it questions at the minute, it just blah, blah, blah at you.
That's what
You
babies
do half the time, too.
I don't.
I wouldn't make you look like a spider without asking you.
Well, if it saved my life, I'd let you.
That is good to know.
At the moment, I can make me look different, but I can't really make other things look different. And I can make a thing appear, but it's not a real thing. But I can't change another thing yet.
So we have to build a better disguise for it.
Yeah, or I could just make it invisible. I can do that, but I can't make it quiet.
I'm a big Minotaur. I think if we disguise it better, no one will pay it no mind. For now, at least.
Maybe we could cover it in fur and make it look like a guinea pig or something. And then we could call it a pet.
That could work, I guess.
I mean, I've
What's
seen
the
some
guinea
real
pig?
strange people that no one bats an eyelid at.
I'm sure you have.
Side eyes, Mr. Blobby.
Radiating just naive innocence and no sarcasm whatsoever.
Shall we head back then?
Do we want to tidy up here so that people holding letters like that don't find any of this?
It is one thing to close our mistakes, it is another to trouble the dead. I would not feel comfortable.
I wouldn't feel comfortable if someone found this and then came after this and kind of wiggles the baby.
To be fair, Ristomache, when I was looking around, this cave isn't the ideal place for any sort of living matter to decompose and, you know, like things do. Mr. Blobby could help it along its way.
We could do the burying thing that some people do.
Or just cover it in berries. Make it taste nicer.
No.
Isn't the floor beneath our feet glass? Yeah, I stamp my hooves to prove that point.
Okay. I don't think it's nice leaving it here.
Didn't you say there was water,
lonely.
like a pool?
Yeah, there's some dripping on the other side where it's like gone into like the natural cavey element kind of coming down the walls.
Death is lonely.
It doesn't feel right just letting someone go squishy like that.
Well, it's kind of
cannot-
natural.
Blobs have really different views of life and death in my head. Like, yeah, they're
Obviously.
very, yeah.
When things die, they go back to the soil. We should
There's
leave
no
her.
soil here. It's just glass. She just
That's kind of what I was
ooze.
saying. It's the perfect conditions to make it stay like a body for a really long time.
Nothing stays like that forever.
That's literally what I got out of my investigation.
Mr. Blobby, you're not eating it.
It
It's most likely bad. It'll give you an upset tummy.
nothing gives me an upset. I don't have a tummy.
Well, whatever you have, it won't be good for you.
I don't like the idea of leaving her here. It's
Maybe,
not right.
look, maybe the burying idea isn't such a bad idea. We could just cut it into a couple of bits, put it in our bag, and then carry it somewhere else and
worse.
bury it.
That's much, much worse. That's no gerbil and like just.
But,
two
Mr.
little
Blobby, have you ever
pseudopods
tried
will just,
carrying
like,
a whole human body? It's really heavy. Much better to
Yes,
cut it into like
I
6
have.
parts.
I just like literally moved an orc while walking or rolling or scratching.
But do you think you could keep it secret as well?
No, I'm see-through.
There you go.
No, I don't want to cut her up or anything. That's not right. But I just don't feel good leaving her here.
We could rearrange her the same way again.
Aristomache, you said death. The bodies go back into the soil to feed the soil. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
not soil, but it's the same principle. It's like gesturing with the baby now. And it's like, oh dear, no.
Or we could
Oh,
go
something.
deeper into the caves, maybe try and find the water source or how that other person got in the wall. Maybe we could put them in a wall, like the fossil hand.
We could
Just imagining like
carve
someone
the-
like investigating in the glass caves like years from now, and there's just a dead, there's a dead
Mummified.
cryptid in the wall.
yeah. Oh, why do I not have any magic that would work to this? No.
We are not cutting her up. We are not eating her.
Okay. Well, the glass cave ends, doesn't it? Can we go a little further and see if there's any soil? Just a little bit further.
Very well.
Okie dokie. Gonna go all the way around the camp with the baby. Just like pointing in the opposite direction to get to the not exit, but you know the other side.
Okay. Why don't you tell me how long you want to spend looking, and then roll a survival check.
How long have we been awake?
It was you were traveling slower than the bees because
Mhm.
Mr. Blobby was at half speed, and it took
Mhm.
them 3 hours to find this. So
Okay.
you've probably been traveling for like 5 hours.
I'd say probably.
No,
like-
sorry. It took them 3 hours. No, yeah, because it took them 7 hours to get back to you. Yeah, so it took you about 5 hours.
Okay.
I'd say I'd probably be like an hour, and after that we'd start feeling a bit like, oh, I'm just dragging this out now.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise,
So-
otherwise we get too far from the body as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So survival.
I've got my wrist matcher dice now, so this should roll much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Oh, I just had
mean.
an idea.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Okay.
It's a
Any
bit
idea?
It's a bit off the wall. It's a bit off the wall. But this body is Aska shaped.
No.
We could smuggle it out inside Aska.
I imagine this is where the foot tapping starts.
Oh my god! I can't believe he's not here.
Oh no! you mind if we put this corpse inside you, friendo? Wow.
Someone please clip for Tommy. Let's just send it to him.
Oh my gosh, yeah, someone please clip that because I'm gonna send that to him with no context. And I'm also gonna make it sound as if that is what happened. Like, too bad you weren't here.
Yeah.
Gerbil's very persuasive.
Oh my goodness.
We need Tommy. We need Tommy so bad. Tommy.
Mm.
Arista much is too neutral to handle this madness.
You don't actually, I would love it if, as Gerbil says that, everyone make an insight check.
Me too.
Yeah.
But why am I rolling?
18.
Shit.
18. 13.
Change dice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Mr. Blobby, Gerbil, you say this thing and you think it's very funny, and because two arms, two legs, nothing coming out of the butt of the armor, a head, Aristomachi, you look at Asuka and you realize that it's actually quite scary how much Asuka looks like this human.
I feel like you're trying to persuade us to do this.
No, I'm just saying, I think for the first time, you look at Asuka, and I'm sorry that he's not here for this for so many reasons, but you look at him and just for a moment you think the armor is oddly shaped like this woman. And for a while, whenever you would see Asuka, there are so many things that are humanoid. The humanoid that we use in this campaign because there's no other, word for humanoid, but are monstroid. 2 arms, 2 legs, medium height, shorter than you, obviously everything shorter than you, that it never struck you as unusual. But as Gerbil says that, there's just like this little kind of worm that wiggles in the back of your head.
He's not wrong.
What? That would be okay, but me just peacefully
I'm not
ignoring her is
I'm not agreeing on the plan, but I am saying he does kind of look human.
What? I mean,
I'm not agreeing. I'm not agreeing.
You bone havers all look the same to me at a certain point.
He has
Legs,
boots,
arms,
so that
lungs.
rules out tiefling or minotaur. Can't really see what shape the hands are.
He has gloved hands, 5 fingers.
5 fingers?
I don't know. Did he send you a photo of what he looks like? He's like kind of traditional.
He's also got a mask, if I'm not mistaken, because I spoke to him about this for the painting.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
he has like a
traditional
traditional
samurai outfit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a suit of samurai armor, but obviously.
Sorry, he is a samurai.
But I mean, that's what he looks like,
Just like.
I always thought maybe he was designed for a, genasi maybe, or a hobgoblin, or maybe an orc. But
Maybe someone just happened to be born with 5 fingers. Weirder things have happened. I've seen a tiefling with 2 tails. That was interesting.
I saw a snake recently with 3 eyes. It was on Twitter.
Claw?
It didn't last very long. It died after a little while. I tried to keep it alive, but it couldn't really eat.
It?
No, I tried to feed it, but it couldn't really eat because the eye was in the way of its mouth. It was horrible.
No.
True story. This is on
That's
Twitter.
creepy.
Check it out.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Aristomachi, also with your survival roll, if you also, I mean, I imagine that this is all happening as you're kind of doing your hour search. You do not find an exit, and you reasonably believe that this is not like a very quick spot in any direction. Like this is would have been a very fortified position, if only that it takes so long to get here that you're not going to be able to just walk out in any reasonable amount of time.
Okay.
Is there soil? Like, is the ground diggable of any description?
No.
Because that's all I was looking for.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck.
There is one more option we have not explored. We can gently wrap her up in my bedroll. We can take her out of the cave. We can bury her in the sand.
All right, but if we're not cutting it up, then I'm not carrying it, because carrying a whole body is hard work.
You are very small, and I am not. I will carry her.
Okay.
I've carried her offspring. I can at least carry her.
What, do we just say that you've got a body shape? No, hang on a minute. When we wrap it up, maybe I can do something to make it not look like a body.
I can make it invisible, and this one won't make noise.
Oh, that's a good idea. I was
Doesn't
thinking,
work.
one time I dressed up a body to look like a Christmas tree, and it stayed there for nearly all of Christmas until it started to smell.
Okay. I believe you.
Okay, we will take the body outside. We will put her in my bedroll. You all owe me a new bedroll. You will make it invisible.
I will get
You will
a
not
new
cut it
bedroll.
up. You will bury it.
You can use my bedroll for the time being if you want.
You are very small. She is not.
I don't have a bedroll, but I will buy you a new one.
Thank you, Mr. Blobby.
Maybe-
Yes, I would like to put her in my bedroll. Gently.
You can
Is
do
rigor
it.
mortis that in?
Yeah.
I'll help out. I'll help.
I'm also trying not to dismantle like a nice thing. She was. Yeah.
Yeah, you can wrap her up and she's stiff, but you're able to carry her easily.
Oh, yeah. Just...
While they're doing that, and I'm kind of keeping the baby not looking at that, I'm just gonna look around and see if there's anything that's not, like, vital. Like, you said it was like an archaeological dig, kind of, so looking for, like, items left behind that aren't of immediate importance, like not knives or pots or anything, but seeing if there's like a comb or something, unnecessary that they brought with them,
Okay.
Can
Like-
you keep an eye out for books for me, Mr. Blobby?
I don't think they can read, but sure.
They are a bit too
I'm
savage for
keeping an eye out
language.
for books.
Go ahead
You-
and make an investigation check.
You never know. Maybe they might like drawings.
I'm trying to do a whole Mulan thing. Let me give the baby something.
Wow.
Roll 20 hates me today. I feel
Oh.
victimized.
Roll
Trying to
20
be
has been
nice.
so rough the last couple of weeks.
We can take a
Oh.
clipping of her hair.
Yeah, you find nothing. You find pots that are broken. There are no combs. No books, no parchment, no pens. But you know what? Gerbil, you had gotten a natural 20 when you had investigated the body. So are you helping Aristomachi wrap it up, or are you just watching?
Yeah, helping Aristomachi wrap it up, and I'll be using like sheets of glass or sticks or anything around that's available to try and give the body some rigidity so it'll stay in its shape when carried.
Okay.
Because, I'm used to holding bodies. I know that if Aristomachi puts it in a bag and then holds it up, it's just going to go... bleh.
Right.
Well, it depends
It's
on
got rigor
rigor
mortis.
mortis.
Rigor
That
mortis
will
has set
preserve.
in, but still,
It doesn't last forever, though.
It doesn't hurt,
It's only so
Yeah.
long until it starts
Um,
going squishy and bulging and...
Shall we not
Yeah, actually,
discuss the
rigor mortis would have
particulars
passed
of
by now, so-
decomposition?
It's
Sure.
squishy.
Oh.
Gerbil, you find there's a bracelet on her hand. Like, it's a very simple thing. It's just made from twine, and it has one bead, one glass bead on it.
I'll look at Aristomachi and then start slipping it off their wrist.
For the baby.
For the baby. And
In the
Arista
background,
marching.
I am literally like, shuffling bits of tent to try and find something like.
And Arista marching will come down to your level and really look you in the eye. For the baby. My insight check. Yeah. for what's that? What's 7 plus 12? What? Sorry, that's blank.
7 plus 12?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Gerbil does a 7 plus 12. What does she find out with a 7 plus 12? You tell us.
Gerbil is a detestable little creature who has no charisma whatsoever, but in this case, he's being earnest.
You love Gerbil so much.
So he's sort of like snarling.
Yeah, it's for the baby.
Good. So try and make myself comfortable with this squishy corpse on my back.
Okay. I'm gonna schlep over with the baby still in its kind of goo car seat thing, and we'll be like, so shall I and there's a wiggle, make it invisible now?
No, we'll wait until we get outside, or perhaps if we hear someone in the cave. Do not exhaust yourself unnecessarily.
I can make it invisible for about 2 hours. 1 hour, 2 hour, about that.
Okay. Well, how long will it take us to get out the caves? We travelled to 3. I think we were travelling for an additional 4, 5.
Yeah, it's going to take you a while, but I'll say if you guys want to be out of the caves, unless there's anything you want to do while you're here, you can be out of the caves. We don't need to journey.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen. You killed everyone in the caves and then ate their bodies. So,
we only need it to be invisible to schlep past the door lady.
Yes.
So.
All right. So
Yep.
you make it through and it's a pretty rigorous journey, especially because you are Aristomachi, I don't necessarily think you would be slowed down. The body's not you're very strong and you're very tall, but it is awkward, so it maybe takes you a little bit longer. If you all want to do a short rest during the journey, that's up to you, but you could make it through, but you're going to be real fucking tired when you come out on the other side.
Aristomachi is the kind of character that will just push on despite her personal uncomfort. So I'll happily take
immune to exhaustion, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I'll happily take the super tired.
What about you, Gerbil? How do you feel? You guys slept and then you traveled for 4 hours, and now you're about to travel for another 10 to get back out. You guys spent a day down here.
Gerbil feels quite nice, really. He lived in caves for a long time, and this is like going home. And he doesn't feel too bad about the baby not having a mum, because he grew up on his own, and he turned out all right. It's just everyone else. So he's all right, really.
It just dawned on me.
Okay. So you all make it, and you travel, and you come to this original little cavern-y space that was the entrance, and you see the stairwell. You see, because you powered through the ropes that you were not supposed to. You see, as you're passing, the light comes back on because you're getting into the areas that you were meant to be in, and you see the stairs that lead up to the door, and you know that on the other side of the door is someone, presumably the same person.
Before we get to the door, I'm just gonna pipe up. Just realised I'm not so convincing as being a baby Minotaur carrier. Should I make them both invisible for an hour, or make the body invisible for 2 hours and do something else with the baby?
I can carry both. Just make make the non-noisy one invisible, and I will hide the noisy one.
You sure? I don't want you to
be-
fall over, because both of these things are very squishy.
I will be all right.
Okay, and hands over the baby. And before we go through the door, I will cast invisibility and use the sorcery point to extend it so it's now invisible for 2 hours.
I have become pack mule.
I
Great.
think Gerbil will be walking quite close to Arichimache. Perhaps, in case they were to fall, to be there, maybe?
Yeah, Mr. Blobby is walking in front, well, there in front of Aristomache, so if she falls forward, there's a squishy pillow.
Everyone's so concerned that Aristomache is going to fall.
It's a long way down.
Yeah, and to be fair, if she falls with that baby on her chest, the baby is a pancake.
Oh, that baby is super dead.
She's not so much worried about her falling backwards because she's got a nice corpse pillow that no one can see.
Aristomache does not fall. I don't even need you to make like a strength check. I assume that this is nothing for you. You all walk up the stairs, and as you're cresting the stairs and you're getting to the door, you hear the very familiar intones of Dr. Sporin, and he's just chatting away with someone.
I can hear the talkative one again.
I am too tired to deal with this.
Okay. Well, you just, if we do the same thing we did last time, and you say that you have to feed the baby Minotaur with, all that bone-having people thing, you can just, go right by, and we can distract the doctor and whatever officious person he's talking to.
I will
Right.
find somewhere pretty to set her to rest.
And don't make the baby watch.
I will.
I don't think he would, but just, this is all new to me. This is not how we do things.
Okay. You open the door, and Dr. Sporin is talking to the same woman behind the desk, and she looks really bored. And when you come up, she looks really quite upset, like her brow furrows. And you can tell that she wants to say something, but Dr. Sporin immediately turns to you and says, my colleagues, thank you. As I was telling this lovely woman, I had sent you down in the caves to continue my research, and so your absence was not at all alarming.
We got
That you had been gone for a day.
Just like pseudopods just go up like ditto, just like, we got lost.
Don't think anyone
Yes.
told Gerbil that they were buy one get one free ticket, so he's immediately going to hide somewhere.
Oh, that's right. Did you want to hide before you walked up the stairs, or are you just now remembering?
No, I'll hide before I get up there. As soon as we get close,
Okay.
he'll be like...
Yeah.
Stealth roll?
Okay.
Mr. Bobby is just like flitting forward, pseudopods wiggling, just completely distracting everyone from everything. Just like, we got lost. There are no signposts down there. It is very badly signed. I had to eat dust. It was horrible. And just like trying to make sure the other two can just leave.
Make a performance check.
Oh, I'm not bad at this. This isn't bad right now. Roll 20. Come on. Be nice. That's nicer than you were being, I
Fine.
guess.
It's not on one. The girl behind the desk, who you can see now is just like a teenager, like a really bored teenager. She looks like she's about to be very upset that you were lost, because you shouldn't be lost, because you should have stayed on the paths that were very clearly marked. And Dr. Sporin puts up his hand and he's like, I know what you're going to say, but they were doing research. But as you're kind of wiggling your arms in the air and you're proclaiming that you had to eat dust, she kind of wears down and doesn't say anything. And you are all able to escape unharmed from this social interaction. But Dr. Sporin is going to follow you.
It's alright, because I am playing it up. I'm flinging my gooey self into Dr. Sporin's arms and being like, I need a hug. It was terrible.
They're there. Yes, I know. I don't know why you went without me. I would have been able to help you, but I completely understand. And as Mr. Blobby and Dr. Sporin are just talking to one another, but at the exact same time, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm trying to slip off with my baby Minotaur and my invisible corpse pillow.
I'm also trying to sneak away so the lady doesn't see me.
Okay. You're all able. Gerbil, you sneak away. Dr. Sporin hasn't even noticed you. And in fact, he doesn't even notice that you're gone. So I don't know if that's something that you want to discuss with him later, but he has not inquired as to where your entire party is. But Aristomachi, as you're trying to walk by, he's gonna let you. He's not gonna impede you, but you can tell that he's making eyes at the baby. Like he's making sure that you still have it, and is kind of looking up at you with a look of relief, but also you can tell that he was worried. But he continues to follow you all out and isn't going to hold you in the store. I have to say that when I came out from my meeting with the mayor, I was shocked to find that you had gone to the glass caves without me, but Ned said that he had given you quite a few leads and you had chosen to investigate the glass caves, which I think I would have been a very helpful inclusion on this mission. I would have been able to help you find the place, as I had said I had been there myself, and I've spent many times in the glass caves ever since I was in college, as I mentioned, wanting to be an archaeologist. I come back here at least once a year. It's a little place of respite for me in the trying time.
Should have stabbed him in the anus.
Excuse me?
I'm not
still,
there,
like,
that's not canon.
Dr. Sporin's leg, by the way, his leg is engulfed in goo. It's like...
Doctor,
Yes.
it has been a very long day. We can have a report after, but there is something important we must do.
Yes, we must go over my data. I'm glad you brought it up.
No,
you bring
not
No.
we. Not we. We. Wiggling pseudopods. We, not we. We.
Oh.
By we, I assume you're just wiggling pseudopods at Aristomagic, as Gerbil is.
Yeah, just like we, not we.
Gerbil's
we.
pressed like flat into the sand like a sand snake.
It's like a little worm.
You can only see his like face coming out.
And by we, I mean the
Miss
Mr. Aristomache and Gerbil, who is somewhere. But we.
Okay, yes, I mean, of course, the bonds of camaraderie must be deep within an adventuring crew such as yourself. I would hate to intrude. Yes, of course, go, yes, of course, do what you need to do. I will be, I'll just be back in, I rented out, there's a hotel and there's no one there, and I rented out all of the rooms for us. I'll just be in my room, I guess.
We
We
have
will
dinner.
come and see you later, and I will pay for some
As soon as you
dinner.
say that, his little face lights up and he's like, yes, dinner, that would be so fantastic. I know the best spot to eat sandworms. I mean, what they do is really quite genius, given
I am a vegetarian.
I will look into options. Thank you. Yes, I will. I'm so excited. And he runs off.
The man likes food. We should remember that next time we need him to shut up.
Maybe if we put food in his face hole, it will stop him talking.
That is a good idea. Or bees. Bees work for everything.
Yeah, they're very stingy. Ow.
I am very sorry about my bees.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's go do the sad thing now.
Yeah, so I would like to try and find somewhere secluded and beautiful to lay this woman to rest.
Okay. It's not difficult to find a secluded place. The town is so small that you're able to, just as you were able, the mayor's house was kind of on the outskirts, and you had been able to get into town with only, like an hour ride. It's not that far. You're able to kind of just like walk. This is like in a western town, where there's just like two lines of like storefronts and houses. It's not particularly dense or spread out. You're able to just kind of walk out, like behind the buildings, and it's just desertscape. So I guess it depends on your definition of beautiful, but Gerbil
Like,
thinks
you know,
Gerbil probably thinks it's very beautiful.
Yeah, so something with like nice rock formation, a very pretty blooming cactus.
There you find a very beautiful cactus. It's very tall and it has like 7 arms and a
7,
flower on one of the arms.
7 is a lucky number. I think you
Sure.
would. Do any of us have a spade?
No, but I can magic hand dig. Might take a while, but better than getting sand stuck to me.
I've got a crowbar.
I have a spade.
I'm just gonna cast Mage Hand, and literally it's just like little spectral. I don't even know what it would be if it's not a human hand.
I could use the lid of my tinderbox.
It's like a spectral orc's hand. Why not? It's like
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it would be if it's not human, but I guess
Mage
orc is like
cephalopod.
associated with strength, so it'd just be the strong hand. I like that. I like that idea. Every time you cast Mage Hand, it looks different depending on what you're thinking of using it for. So if I was going to pickpocket someone, it would be like a tabaxi claw. But now it's a big, meaty orc hand that looks surprisingly like someone I just ate's hand. It's a reference, you gotta have a reference in mind.
Gerbil will try and help you dig, Mr. Blobby, using his rations, his tinderbox lid, and a crowbar.
I'm afraid
so.
Aristobot is a little bit too tired to help.
Yeah. It's okay, we just keep digging. Keep digging. Like, I kind of want to try, like, using the Eldritch Blast, because it's a force thing, but I also think that could go really, really wrong.
We don't want to make another glass cave.
Yeah.
It was a good idea, though.
It depends on how long it would take me to dig a grave using one orc hand.
This is gonna take a long time.
Well, the sand isn't super dense, so I mean, I'll say that you're able to power through the digging relatively quickly with your orc hand. I don't even know.
It's Mage Hand. It's a Mage Hand.
Okay.
It looks like an orc hand.
Because someone ate an orc recently and knows what that looks like.
No, it's because, when they conjured it, they were thinking, oh, I need to do a strong thing. So orc hand, it's kind of like strong thing, And also they recently ate an orc, so there's a reference in their head. Yes, okay.
Yep.
But yes, they're digging.
You're able to do it very quickly with the help of magic.
Dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel.
You
dig in the tunnel.
dig this grave for this woman.
Aristobot will hand over the baby to Mr. Blobby.
Yeah.
Take her
I will
invisible.
drop the invisibility.
Excellent. Now I can see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I will just unroll the bedroll, so she's and just fix her hair and lay her nicely like she's just sleeping. She can have the bedroll.
Use Mage Hand to just scoop the sand back over her gently, not just like tapping sand onto her face. Gentle scoops.
And and just to wrap it all up, I will say a prayer of my people, which is very simple, which is when you feel homesick, just look up, because the moon is the same no matter where you go.
That's nice.
Ew, I just got chills.
Mr. Blobby's just kind of bouncing the baby, and we're just going to be like, I don't know if she was a good parental person, but you're here. And she's not, and I'm sorry. But we'll make sure you're okay. Until and unless we can't. And just keep bouncing it like that. Yep. That's all he's got.
Okay. You all
Not from a very
perform
complex
this very short but sweet burial for this supposed cryptid. This thing that shouldn't exist.
Oh man, we just buried Mothman.
You did, you buried Mothman.
Wow.
And the baby is simply babbling in its little Mr. Blobby crib, unaware of what's happening.
No.
And if you like, you can return to town. You're able to find the hotel that Dr. Sporn mentioned because it's like the only hotel.
I think since we've discovered that Gerbil is apparently some kind of scholar, I think Gerbil might want to pick up a journal through town.
Okay. Yeah, you can find one in the tourist shop where Mr. Blobby had gotten the baby clothes and the rings. There are lots of journals.
Are they like, the tacky gift shop journals that have like, glass caves on them in terrible, terrible print?
Yeah, so one of them has like just a really kind of weird picture of the glass caves, but it's just like a black kind of like tunnel looking thing. Like it doesn't look good. And then some of them have quotes on them. That'll be like, dream every day.
Live life long.
Live life laugh. And then there's some of the like really kind of aggressive ones that are like, get shit done, and like bullshit that I think about.
It's wine o'clock somewhere in the world.
Gerbil would be torn between the get shit done one and the image one. The thing that'll clinch it for him is is the image slightly blown up and stretched so you can see pixels and or bad quality imagery.
Yeah, as you look at this journal, you realize that this image is the one image that's used across all of their postcards and their keychains. And now that you look at it, you can see in the corner, they tried to crop it out, but you can see that it says stock photo.
This is the one tourist destination ever.
I'll buy that one.
Do you buy it or do you steal it?
This is always a bone of contention for Gerbil, because he doesn't have any money.
No, you do, because didn't we get some? You found a little purse of coins on one of the dead bodies, and I was like, and I thought it, I didn't say it, but I was like, oh no, Gerbil has some money.
Did I? I didn't note that down.
Oh, I remember it.
How much money did I find?
You didn't check. You were just like, oh, and here's some coins. And you were like, cool.
I will look in the bag of coins.
You have, I'll just do a roll. You have 2 gold and 3 silver.
Jeez.
Yeah.
There's a heck ton of gold in this bag.
Really?
Didn't you get it off of the people that you ate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
but
probably being well paid.
I mean, if there was any gold or anything in the people that I ate and didn't check, it's just part of my jewelry now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that like Mr. Blobby will never spend because it's just part of it. Like it doesn't register as money. It's just my accessory.
Shiny. It's just shiny.
It's shiny.
Alright, I'd love to roleplay buying the book. So, like, Gerbil's going to take the book up to the camera and be like, Oi! I'd like to buy these! And a pen.
Who was the shop owner? It was the Dragonborn, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, my esteemed tourists. Are you enjoying your time here in Serenity Pass? It is such a beautiful town. I see you've chosen one of our finest journals. And a pen, you say? Well, and he pulls out a tray of pens.
Are we with Gerbil?
Are you?
Are we with
Yeah,
Gerbil?
why not? Because this is
Yeah, sure. I'm looking at the baby grows again.
I'll have that black pen.
Ah, yes, this black pen. It and he pulls it out, and it's like a clicky pen. and it says on it it says www.putyourlogohere.com.
Yeah, that one, that'll do.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, this is a great pen. And when you need to refill the ink, I do have, and he shows you how to twist it and pull out the little ink thing. And he's like, I have many of these if you ever need to replace it. So, and then he puts it back and he goes, you know what, for you, I'll give you a free ink refill. And he includes a little ink thing. That will be 2 silver for everything.
Gerbil sort of looks back at Aristomache and Mr. Blobby, and probably Asker as well.
Is that a good price?
I don't know. I generally just throw shiny at people and they give me things.
You may not know this, but Mr. Blobby paid 3 gold for 2 shirts and like 5 rings.
Yep. No. There was a whole tray of rings. Like,
you did take the entire tray of rings.
Took the whole tray of rings.
And the tiara, and about 5
And the tiara.
5 baby grows in 5 colors.
5 baby,
Yeah.
yes, in 5 colors, and the birthday bro tiara.
Yeah.
All right.
Which
Can
I'm
I
still
convince?
wearing as a smile.
Can I convince you to let me have it for 1 silver?
Convince me.
This is my first time bargaining. Give it to me for 1 silver, or I'll slit your throat.
Go ahead. You just threatened to slit his throat?
He just asked him to convince him. Gerbil doesn't know how to do this.
Okay, you can either roll charisma or intimidation. Like if you're thinking that intimidation is how you bargain and you're being like, the sun is like right in my face, I cannot move out. Just completely blinded. It's coming through the one hole in my curtain. If you think that that's how people bargain, then I would say roll charisma. But if you're trying to threaten him, then roll intimidation.
It depends, because I think Gerbil would have just said, can you convince me? And then when he said, well, try and convince me, then Gerbil would have gone,
All right, I'll stab you if you don't.
no, that's definitely gone.
Can I help with the intimidation check just by like shifting my hoof closer, standing a little bit folding
Yes.
my arm?
If I was gonna say, if you roll charisma, I would say, can I help just by like being like, you never bought anything before. I brought him here, and just being like,
Yeah, so if it's intimidation, Aristomache. It's
Okay. Wow, so many options here. I'll say roll a charisma check because I think he's going to think that you're joking. And so, let's do charisma with advantage because Mr. Blobby is one of his best paying customers. You're here with royalty. Yeah, that's gonna work.
I have a tiara.
He looks at you as you threaten to slit his throat. He's like, ooh, spicy. This is why I love tourists. Okay, I'll let you have it for 1 silver, but only if you promise to always come back to me for any of your journaling needs.
Looks around at this tacky gift shop like,
Yes.
I'm getting a new shipment in of journals next month that have sloths on the cover.
Are they taking a long time to arrive?
I haven't ordered them yet because no one's bought any journals. But if you want me to, I will order them. There's also one that has a llama and it says no drama llama. It's very funny.
Oh, it sounds
Are
very
there any
alarming.
blobs on?
What?
Are there any with any blobs on? I
can-
can't really write, but
I can look through my catalog. I don't think so. Like just like circles or blob, like what? How would you know it was a blob on the cover?
Oh, I know.
I'll look. Come back in a month.
Okay.
By then, and he wags his finger at you, Gerbil, you will have filled that journal to its margins.
All right, I suppose.
All right then.
Is there anything else you need?
I've got
Do
a
you need
pen.
chapstick?
No.
You look really nice in a tiara, Gerbil.
Do you need
No.
a tiara? I have tiaras.
No.
What about stickers for your journal?
Do you want some stickers?
You can make them into like secret codes. What stickers do you have?
Oh, well, I have the hottest trends in stickers. I've always wanted to own a calligraphy shop, but that wasn't feasible in this town. So, and he rifles through and he pulls out a container and he kind of goes through them like a little, what are those things? Those things where people put their contact cards, like a Rolodex. Thank you. And he pulls out a pack and on it says Lysa Franck. And he says, Lysa Franck is the most stunning orc artist of our generation. She uses bold colors to reimagine familiar facets of life. And it's a sticker pack, and it comes in a bunch of different versions. You know, there's like animals and like city life. And one of them is like adventuring life. And so it'll be like a dagger that's like a rainbow colored and then like rope that is holographic and
No.
As soon as Mr. Blobby sees the holographic, he's like, I want it! I need it! It's so shiny!
No.
yes, Lisa.
Gerbil, you could use a dagger to say if you secretly killed someone, and the rope
Someone
is
really
secretly
shiny!
killing someone.
It has everything that's in like an adventurer's pack, but a sticker form in rainbow.
How much? I need the glittery, the hollow.
No, I don't need any of that.
I do!
Do they have any of them, like, you know, in like every place they get like the things with letters and names? You know, do they have a ring with a G on it?
Oh, a sticker or a keychain with a G?
Just what Gerbil's thinking is he's got candles. He can make his own damn stickers. So if he has like
With
a keychain,
candles?
if he has a keychain
Like
or a
wax
ring,
imprint.
he could wax imprint a G.
Okay. Oh, you
He's gonna make
so,
his own seal!
okay. You want like a little like a signet ring. Yes.
Yeah, and he has candles from the candelabra that he broke.
Do I have any signet rings in my little crown of rings?
No, those are just like mood
Aw.
rings. They
good
do
point.
have a collection of metal keychains that are like the letter presses out, so it's kind of like bulgy, and then the background is faded, so it's like very, you know, very serious looking. And they have all of the letters of the alphabet of every language, so there are literally hundreds of them. And if you take about 3 minutes, you'll find the G's in common.
Would you be looking for the G's in common or in goblin?
Yeah, do you want G in common or do you want your name in goblin?
Look, I want 3 of these. 1 in common, 1 in goblin, and 1 in minotaur.
Okay. What is the name Gerbil in Minotaur?
Muted.
Muted.
Can I have a second to consult my...
Yes. Yes. So you find a G in common, and then you find what is the goblin equivalent of a G. What does the goblin language even look like?
Good question.
What script does it use? According to this goblin translator, Gerbil is Haga in goblin, so you find an H.
It's actually going to be a rune, I think. Right? It uses
Okay.
uses the Defec script. Oof.
Really?
So it's dwarven. Essentially, it's dwarven. So it looks like a backwards italic L, capital L.
Okay, so the Minotaur language I've based off Greek and some like fancy words that don't sound Greek. And the closest would be Gable, which means tax collector or gobbler.
Well, you can. Wait. What's gerbil in Greek? That would work. He's small. He's twitchy. He hides. Gerbil.
Okay, you find all of the things that you want. Okay, all of them.
I so need every holographic sticker this person is selling.
Okay, you can have them. And he says for everything, for the journal, for the pen, the free refill, the 3 different G things, the all of the stickers. That will be 7 silver.
Mr. Blobby.
I'm not paying for the stickers. Oh.
Mr. Blobby just puts a gold down. Stickers!
Gerbil gives you a silver.
This is literally how Mr. Blobby deals with money. It's literally just like, what do I have that's shiny? See if that works. If that doesn't work, try the next one.
Gerbil gives Mr. Blobby a sticker. A silver.
Shiny, thank you.
Just gonna put it in you like a penny slot.
There you go.
Yeah. You pretty much just like press it against the goo and it just goes in. Okay.
All right, you have your journal and your keychains and your pen refill and your Lysa Frank orc pack stickers.
Yeah, just subsumed. It's like vague, and like they're not like taken out or stuck or anything, so it's just vaguely shiny rectangles in the depth of Mr. Blobby. Vaguely shiny rectangles.
Starting to look like a iridescent dice.
Yeah. It's like little flakes of glitter.
Yeah.
Massive blob of yellow resin. Oh, I need a Mr. Blobby D20, I really do.
I know just the one, but it's really expensive. It's like a collector's item. Yeah. Nothing for Aristomache, please. She's a very simple girl.
All right, you have all your shopping needs. And yeah.
I'm going to eat just like one of the sticker sets. Sometimes Mr. Blobby just can't help it. So one of the sticker sets just dissolves.
Okay. The hotel is not too far from this tourist trap, so.
Just escape the trap.
Let's
You're
go
able to-
see Mr. Talks Too Much.
Okay. You find the hotel. Yeah. And you go in. And there's no one at the front desk.
Of course not. A little ringer.
There is a ringer, and when you ring it, it's Dr. Sporin, and he says, "Hello."
Do you work here now?
Oh no, but I told the woman working the desk that she could go have a very long lunch because I bought out all of the rooms, so we don't need her any longer. And also because we're doing super secret work and I want as few people as possible to possibly overhear or oversee what we're doing. Speaking of overseeing, may I see the human baby?
What human baby? It is only a Minotaur child.
Yes, let me see the Minotaur child, of course, and he winks.
Mr. Blobby has it.
Oh, do I have the baby?
Yes, you
Okay,
have
I thought, because sorry, I forgot that was Carrie. Yeah, so I just kind of like wiggle the baby because the baby is riding me. Like, come on, it's sat in like a car seat on my head. Like, okay, you can see it.
Wonderful. Now tell me all about your adventures in the glass caves. Were you able to find anything of note?
Can I have dinner?
Huh?
Can I have dinner?
Are you hungry right now?
I am hungry right now.
Always hungry.
Yes. Well, there is, and he points into the side of in the entrance lobby, there's a buffet. He says there's a salad bar and continental breakfast is served all day here. So.
Do they serve rat?
No. But they do have sandworm, which is a delicacy here.
No rat. What is this?
It's sandworm. It's a delicacy here.
That sounds like a worm you find in sand. Would
No.
I be correct in thinking
No,
it's a worm
no,
you
you're
find
not.
in sand?
Actually, fun story. It's an intestinal worm.
Okay, sand sounded better.
Okay, yes, you find it in the sand.
Okay, because someone told me when
And he turns to you,
are
Gerbil, and he's like,
one thing, that
sand is
does not
such a
sound good."
stupid place to find a worm. God. Anyways, please help yourself.
I'm gonna like blob over and just like pick things up and wave them in front of the baby and see if it takes anything. Like, anything?
It takes a muffin and then it smushes it into its face.
Okay. And
Be
I'm just
careful,
gonna,
it does not choke.
yeah, just like pull the muffin away.
He gets none
and,
of
like,
the muffin in his mouth. He just
Okay.
smushes it in his face.
Fair enough. I don't know how you do things, but okay.
And then he smushes the muffin into you.
I'm just gonna eat the muffin. It just sinks in and then just goes paper and all. If it's got the little paper case.
Yeah, it has the little paper in it.
That was very nice. Thank you, baby.
Okay, now that we are eating, can we talk about the important things? Or I have news while you are gone. Very exciting news.
Oh, what news do you have? Please tell us.
Yes, well, and he has a little purse, and he reaches into his purse and he pulls out a scroll. He says, yes, it's very exciting. My colleague was executed for crimes against the crown, and all of her research was destroyed.
This
Wow.
is this the one that was doing a dig similar to yours?
Yes.
That doesn't sound very good.
Cat, who has the piece of paper with the seal on it?
I'm gonna go with one of you two because I
I
don't
think
have
Gerbil,
time.
because Gerbil was the one who found it.
Yeah, Gerbil is not revealing that. Gerbil is keeping hold of that. Unless Aristomache is going to put him to, he's sort of looking at Aristomache like,
Okay, that sounds bad.
We better stop all our research then.
Yep, sounds like it. Where was
What do you
this
mean we have to stop
again?
our research? This only means that we're onto something incredibly important. They
It
don't
also means
execute
death.
scientists for finding things that everyone knows.
I found that people will kill people for no reason whatsoever.
I don't know about that, Mr. Blobby.
Yes, but execution does not happen for no reason at all. That is very exciting. That means we were onto something. That means they are afraid.
Or it means the government got bored. I mean, they're made of people. People are not always good. I mean, maybe this person just did something else wrong, like unrelated, and they got executed for that. Did they eat someone? People get really mad about that.
I don't think they ate anyone, though we only corresponded through letters. But they sent out this notice, and he will present to you the parchment that was sent to all of the research institutes. And luckily, one of my colleagues forwarded it to me here because he knows that I come here, like I said, at least once a year, if not more. And because there's been a bit of dip in my research, he was quite correct in assuming that this is where I would be. So he went ahead and he sent this to me here, knowing that I would be interested. And you can see right there, it says very plainly that Dulzes was executed for crimes committed against the crown.
But it doesn't say what the crimes are. It just
What?
says
Sorry,
crimes against the crown.
remind me what crown it was. Was it my home country crown?
Yeah, she was in Lathos.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was killed for upsetting the natural order. Yeah, I kind of do something. I'm chewing on a strawberry. Can I take a spoon? And I want to spit out my pre-chewed food and try and feed the baby.
Okay. I thought you meant in real life. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
On a strawberry, very cool. Don't brag.
No, I
We don't
don't.
all have strawberries?
I'm sorry, I don't have any real-life strawberries. I'm pretending to eat strawberries because I have none.
Yes, you can attempt to regurgitate this strawberry into the baby's mouth.
It's not regurgitated. It's just pre-chewed.
Yeah,
Like,
pre-chewed.
it's not been
Yeah.
swallowed and thrown
True.
back out.
Okay. Fair. Regurgitation was the wrong word. It's been masticated.
There we go.
I'll say I don't know a lot about babies, and I think what this baby can and cannot do changes frequently. So,
Well, my
How
mum
old is
used
the
my
baby
mum
around?
used to my mum used to do this to me.
I think this baby's a little too young for solid food based on what we've established so far. So I think you are able to get it in its mouth, but it seems to like, you know what? Actually, I don't know that I've ever seen someone try and feed a baby that isn't into solid food. Yes, I don't know what would happen, but it's fine.
It's got no teeth, right?
No.
It's still gummy.
Yeah,
So it like sucks at it.
Can it hold its own head up?
Head
Is it
up,
like,
yes.
Is it like a
Yes.
sitting up baby?
Yes.
It would probably like lick at it and like probably swallow it, but it couldn't chew. It's not like
There we
proper
go.
eating. It's like
Baby
you know,
expert.
yeah.
So because it's already been pre-chewed, it can kind of, as you give it like on your spoon, it sucks on the spoon and is able to kind of get all that strawberry business in his mouth.
It's kind of like a turtle eating. They can't really like, like they don't know how to take it off a spoon yet, but they will like take it into their mouth and it will move back.
Okay.
It's like-
That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens then. Dr. Sporn is very interested in this. He says, "Oh, how interesting. I hadn't even thought to do that. I was just giving it milk. I assumed that it needed a liquid diet for some time. Well, anyways, tell me, what did you find in the glass caves?"
We found the mother.
Ah, yes. Sad business. I wish that I had been able to do something for her, but I am very small.
We took her out and buried her.
You took her out of the cave
Yes.
and
We
buried
walked
her
past you.
where?
In a nice
Somewhere.
grave.
Here? In the sand?
Yes.
Do you know sand moves all the time? You can't keep anything buried in sand.
We buried them
There's
very
like-
deep.
There's like a pointed silence where like the lump of pyrite and like the orb just kind of move so that Mr. Blobby looks like he's looking at Aristomache. Doesn't say anything, but there's just a moment of
Well,
We buried them
this
very deep.
blood gets unrooted every day. I think she'll be fine where she is.
I have to say, as a researcher whose partner was just executed for crimes against the crown, it makes me a bit nervous that some of our most poignant evidence was buried in the sand where anyone can find it. But I do defer to your judgment in these matters. It is why I hired you, for your street smarts, if you will.
We thought it was better than just leaving her out in the open where she wouldn't decay at all. At least in the sand and the heat she will decay.
Assuming that their biology works like ours. Yes.
She
It
started to
kind of
smell.
seemed like, I mean, I know dead things. It seemed like it worked kind of the same.
Anything else? Did you find anything else?
She's hungry.
Blobby's gonna sink closer to the floor slightly. Just be like,
Can we
shake
like
the baby a bit.
flash back to a quick team chat before we met the doctor? Just real
Let's
quickly.
do it.
So like, Gerbil will definitely at some point, if the conversation comes around to the doctor, Gerbil will definitely be like,
Do we actually trust the doctor?
No.
So what's our game plan if he starts asking questions?
Pretend that there was nothing of interest.
Ignore him? I mean, what can you really do?
not pay us.
But there is something important to note here. If all the nations have united against this child, this doctor knowing about this child and him being as talkative as he is
Not
a
good.
liability.
Hmm.
Do we think he's a part of it?
No, he's too stupid.
Hmm.
I've taken on other personalities before when I'm holding a disguise. The nice thing about appearing stupid is everyone assumes you're stupid. And you learn lots.
He is very right.
I'm not saying he is addled in the head. He clearly holds a lot of information. But the game of politics and all that argy-bargy people like to get into in institutions. He doesn't.
He's very intelligent. He's just not very bright.
That is the perfect statement.
And I think he has a different goal, because sometimes he looks at the baby and he isn't seeing a baby anything. He's seeing, you know, like how sometimes smart people look at books that they haven't read?
Yes, he sees it as an opportunity to create infamy. I am not interested in being famous or infamous.
I don't want to be famous.
I don't like being famous. Everyone knows you're coming.
That would satisfy Gerbil to flash back to the moment if everyone else is satisfied.
Yeah.
So tell me, besides this body, did you find anything of note?
No, nothing of interest at all. We did try to see if we could see where the humans went to. They only went deeper into the caves. We decided we were not well equipped enough to go deeper into the caves.
Yes, that is what I also came to the conclusion of. So interesting how slippery they are. Do you think that they have survived all of this time by hiding, or that they are just naturally so reclusive? So many questions.
Maybe they are nocturnal. I mean, we've only seen them in dark places. Maybe they do not like the light.
And as you say that, his eyes light up. That is something I had not considered.
Because the little one, when it was in the sun for a day, it went bright red.
Oh yeah, I went pink.
Yes, interesting. I'll have to review the literature and see at what times people claimed that they had seen humans. Perhaps they've always been at night. And he pulls out a journal, and Gerbil, you see that this journal that he bought is the one that says, live, laugh, love. And he begins to take furious notes.
Oh dear.
What language is he taking notes in?
Goblin.
What do they say?
You read Goblin?
I read Goblin. I'm trying to read it upside down.
Make a... I
mean,
guess
I don't
sleight
even know
of
how someone
hand.
with blind sight reads, but
It's like sleight of eyeball.
I don't even have eyeballs. It's just
You have
sleight
one eyeball.
Make an eavesdrop
of
check.
orb.
You see that he has terrible handwriting and he's writing very, very quickly. And although it isn't Goblin, it seems to be some type of like shorthand Goblin. So you're not even really sure that all of the words are properly spelled or make sense. But he seems to be writing like humans equal. You notice that he spells humans HOOMANS.
Humans.
He writes humans equal nocturnal ? And then he writes down Athos ? !
Okay.
Arista and Archie will now try and give the baby some banana.
Okay.
And see
It does
what-
the same.
work.
It does the same thing.
It would have to be like
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
Super mushed.
Yeah.
Super
yeah. So she's keeping herself distracted.
bouncing the baby a little. But, oh,
Well, this has all been very fascinating, but I have to say that I think what we are able to do here at the Glass Caves has come to an end, unless we decide to make a full expedition to explore every crevice of the natural wonder that snakes beneath this town. I don't know there's anything more we can do in Serenity Pass.
I think doing anything more would be a good way to get executed.
You're not seriously considering giving up just because my partner was executed?
I
Yes.
didn't say that. Did I say
never
that?
be
That's not what I
achieved.
said.
If we are afraid of
What?
being
No,
executed.
That's not what I said. I said here.
Ah,
Doing more things here. I know I don't have a mouth, but I am talking quite loud.
I
so
agree.
you think
I think it's time to move on.
I agree.
What are your thoughts? I have thoughts of my own. They do involve going to collect my partner's research, which surely has been destroyed. But what we could get would be incredibly valuable. What are you all thinking? I'm very open to suggestions. This is all very new to me.
I'm thinking that if someone says we've executed someone and destroyed all their stuff, they've probably destroyed all their stuff.
Surely
I
she had something hidden.
I have absolutely no desire to head home. It is not a fun place.
I'm
Oh.
not even sure how you'd execute me, but I don't want to see people try. Not like you
What,
can behead me.
what about that library? That sounded fun.
Ooh,
Ah,
it is very
yes.
nice.
Ned has mentioned the library in
Mm-hmm.
Jadir.
It's really, really pretty. And it has lots of books, like so many books, I could not count them. And they were really, really high up. I'm not good at ladders much. So they were really high up.
I have some connections in the court that we might be able to use to our advantage. Anything that's in the library would be sanctioned material, but that doesn't mean we couldn't find something of use. It's not that humans aren't written about, only that they are written about as if they are myth. There could be something very interesting in the stories we do know of these supposed hairless nocturnal creatures.
We are also going to need to make my baby Minotaur a little bit more convincing. And maybe repair my horns so they do not look at my damaged horns and then look at this nubbed Taruf.
Jadir is a place of great magic. We may be able to find someone who can help us within their borders. But it also means that the citizens are preternaturally inclined to seeing through such magical disguises.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
but,
a little bit more physical.
yeah, I might know someone, but I don't know if. And just like burbling noises of uncertainty.
It seems we have much to reflect on. I would suggest we continue to enjoy this fine meal, this salad bar and continental breakfast, and just enjoy one another's company as, dare I say, friends. Friends? We friends?
You said it!
Yes.
Radiating innocence.
Every so much he eats into us.
I haven't stabbed you yet.
Which, if I know anything of my people's customs, means we are the best of friends. Let us just enjoy one another's company and sleep on what options we have, and tomorrow morning we may be able to figure something out.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Sure.
And that will be for sake of not making any serious decisions without Tommy if we can. I think will be where we end today. So a little short, but it feels like a good spot to kind of head out.
Aristomachi would, as the doctor goes to refill his plate, she will say to the rest of the party that they should stay in the same room together just in case.
Yeah, Mr. Blobby would kind of like schlep up to Aristomachi and be like, can't with the baby. Like, can we room with you again?
Yeah, Aristomachi's gonna be like, yeah, we'll all room in together.
Don't worry, we're all staying together.
Gerbil will sit in the corner, writing in his new journal.
Oh no, I'm
As
so
they can, like,
excited to
hang
get
themselves
some
up
verbal
on the
writing.
back of the-
Oh, what did you write? Oh my god.
It's in the Discord.
Oh, it's going to be in the
Yay.
Discord. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for watching and commenting and putting up with our silly shenanigans. And thank you so much to my players. You all are all super fantastic, and I'm so excited to continue exploring this campaign with you.
We
Same.
love you too.
Having so much fun.
This has been
Excellent.
absolutely fantastic. I'll
It's
get
been
some
so
messages
great.
posting in just 1 second because I did not forget to update the credits file at all. Yeah, everyone, please check out the links which are being spammed in chat as we close today. If you meet us in the Discord, we'll be talking about this show shortly, maybe a little bit more later on as well, because I know some of us have work and things. But also in the Discord, I have uploaded the first page of Gerbil's journal.
Yes!
So you can find that as well.
The Journal of Gerbil.
And yeah, we'll be back at 7 p.m. with Riders on the Storm, DM by me. Until then, everyone, keep on evoking emotions, and we'll see you next week for more Tooth Tail and Talcum Powder. See you there, everyone. Bye.
Bye!